Now we start with a little test. I think that's always a good start. Who knows the Maslow pyramid of needs? Heard of it? Do you know the basic? Oh, wow. Okay, you guys have been to many leadership trainings. What's the basic? What's at the bottom? Survival. Okay, food, I hear. Okay, very often we call this basic needs, okay? Once you have sleep, food, sex, everything you really need for basic survival of the species, drinking and eating and just surviving, we can say it's basic needs. We don't have to get all 5 levels, but once you are have your basic needs, what's next? It's a little bit the pyramid of needs. Once this is covered, then you start desiring other things. You don't have to be precise with it. What do you think comes next? Sorry? Okay, hygiene. Would you? So like safety, I think it's called safety. So just that you have a safe environment where you are not totally attacked all the time by the people. Next thing, I give it to you, is social needs. It's a little bit the idea, once you have food and survive and you feel safe in your environment, then you start making friends and forming families and really having social relationships. And at the very top of it, I think many people, once you have all of this, then you strive for self-actualization. So a little bit thinking, oh, I want to become an EY partner, that would be really something that makes me happy. That kind of thoughts only come after your basic needs are fulfilled. So the problem with that model is that from a neuroscientific model, and I see that most people know this, and you're not a psychologist and you don't spend all your time in leadership courses, but this is a very well-known model that's been used all over the world. And the problem is, from a neuroscientific point of view, it's totally wrong. So I'd like to cross it out. Why is it wrong? And I will destroy this model, but I give you a new one at the end that you can use. So I'm not just bashing everything. Social needs, which is, for Maslow, is the third point. A lot of things have to happen until you strive for social needs. If you're in Africa and you don't get any food, the idea is you don't go and look out for friendships and family. You look that you get some food so you survive. It's wrong. Social needs are at the very basic of the pyramid. Why is that so? We survive because we form strong relationships. Our ancestors used to live in small groups of people, and they would only survive because they have friends, because the biggest enemy of human beings are other human beings that would attack us. They would live in tribes, and you need protection from the people around you. Also, the baby that is born will not go and look for berries in the forest, or for, I don't know, go and survive and look for water. The baby will attach itself to the mother, so she takes care of him. So if you look at the example from the mirror neuron I gave you this morning at the beginning of the session, we have a system in place in our brain that's constantly on, that's constantly attuned into other people. Our brain is very social in its very nature, and I can tell you one basic principle of the brain is that the brain is efficient. You know the saying, we only use 10% of our brain. It's actually not true, because we use all our brain, but we don't use all of our brain at once. It's like with a machine, you don't want to, when you produce something, put all the pieces together at once. The brain is very efficient which parts it's using at the time, but the social parts of the brain are always on. That shows how important they are to us. You never turn them off. Sure, when you sleep, many parts of the brain are deactivated, but when you're awake and around, your brain is always looking for what other people are doing.